Hi, welcome back to another episode of Geekified. It's coming up for the Halloween season. We absolutely can't wait for that to start. But let's get on with some introductions. Hi, Ryan. How you doing?
Now, what kind of a name is that?
Ryan, you look as if you've had a little bit of work done in the previous week.
Killing is an addiction like any other drug.
I'm loving the leather jacket. It is absolutely fantastic. It really matches your goth look.
Oh, sweetie, there's nothing to be scared of.
Hi, welcome back to Geekified. It's a slightly different intro from normal because we had the wonderful Geekaboo give us yet another awesome item. Definitely the best. She's right over there. It is the wonderful Tiffany from Chucky.
Yeah, the Bride of Chucky as well.
3 is she was in quite a few.
She was in quite a few. I think the first one was the Bride of Chucky.
Yeah.
Was that 4?
I don't know. It was a really good choice because obviously Chucky season 3 is just coming out now.
Yeah.
It's not quite on yet, but that's it. I couldn't have asked. Thank you so much to Thomas Geekified for giving me such a good look around the shop as well and showing me stuff, and Graham who was dealing with all my emails today. Thank you so much for giving us this stuff every week. I do not have any clue on the price if you're looking to get this doll. This doll is actually a special. It sits in their window, so anytime you walk past Geekaboo, you'll be able to see Tiffany sitting in the window, and you now know that she's been on Geekified. How cool is that? Anyway, hi Callum, how are you?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I'm genuinely excited about that doll. That was
What an amazing doll. I think, as I said to you 10 minutes ago, it's probably the best thing that we could have ever gotten. It's so good. It's actually so like film accurate as well. I can't stop staring at it and like looking in awe.
Yeah,
I feel like she's working her magic on me.
She's working her magic on you, I tell you that. Honestly, obviously we moved her about and got to sit her on the seat. It's expensive.
Yep.
It's the best way to put it on. I don't know the price. I'm sure it'll be a good price for whatever it is, but it feels legit, like as if it's a prop.
Yeah.
It feels like it's what they would use in the movies, to be honest.
And please don't try and do anything to it.
Yeah, but as you know, there's only 2 seats here, and obviously the third seat is Ryan, who's not here. I was about to say Callum, you're right here. So Callum is here. Ryan couldn't make it tonight. Hope you're feeling better. He's not feeling very well. Yeah. So we are just a twosome tonight.
Yeah.
But we've still got loads of topics that we need to talk about, including the wonderful Tiffany. Chucky season 3, as it says, is coming out, so we've got a wee bit of that to talk about. But first, the start of something that just popped up on my thing an hour ago. Neve Campbell, Scream talk.
Yes.
Obviously, we've got Scream 7 is on the way. We mentioned this in last week's episode, I think.
Yeah.
Or a week before. It's on the way. It's 100% confirmed. It's greenlit. And we talked a little bit the other day when we were meeting someone else.
Yes.
Which we'll bring up later as well. We discussed it. It's obviously coming back. But just an hour ago, you probably wouldn't have seen it because you were working. Neve Campbell's kind of doubled down on her comments that she made for not returning.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so she just popped up today in a couple of articles. It was an interview she did on the radio. She's basically doubled down on the equal pay thing. So I'm not quite read it. I've not went in deep into it, but it's going to be a topic of discussion. The reason, I'm assuming, that she's obviously plugging something if she's on the radio.
Yeah.
But she's obviously going to bring up Scream.
Yeah.
But the fact that she's doubled down on it.
Is it because when she said, I can't say anything, that made everybody go into a frenzy? Is it somebody told her to say, we need to calm down because we've not really announced that you've been back yet? But I don't know.
I don't know either. Like this maybe could be because everyone it might have been leaking that she's coming back.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's not coming back and it's just talking about it. It could be anything, but you'll find geeky nerds like me just go, what's happening?
I hope to God she comes back because
she needs to come back.
I'm sorry, but Scream is Sydney Prescott.
I know. It's her story. She is the final girl.
Yeah. Fuck your core 4.
Sorry, I do like the core
Oh,
4.
God damn it. I swore again.
Yeah, within the first 5 minutes. Thanks, YouTube. I like the core 4. I was quite happy. I think they kind of, I'm going to swear as well, we kind of shot the bed by not killing off one of them, because I'm sorry, I can't remember his name now. He should have died.
Chad
Should have died, man.
Yeah.
That was it was one of the most beautiful send-offs. It was so well done. All those slow-mo stabbing. I mean, should be Swiss cheese by now.
Yeah.
It should be Swiss cheese. There's no way anyone can survive that. And I think it was done so well.
It was.
It was quite sad. He was just kind of holding them back, go.
It was just kind of getting that romance going with Tara, and they pulled it right under they pulled the rug. But yeah, then 20 minutes later, he was bouncing about like he's...
Yeah, that was one thing that definitely pissed me off. I think that was a wee bit weak on their part. But we discussed like kind of some theories of we think is going to happen, didn't we? Like, and we were talking to mystery person. We're still
you know who you are.
Yeah, so there's obviously, I brought up the fact that it links to the third one you brought up the fact that it links to the third one. I think when you were saying the initial script for Scream 3 was going to be the Cult of Stu.
Yes.
Right, so obviously that was your one, and I definitely said that I think that they have to bring Stu back, because the only way you can bring Sydney back into the fold again is by linking her back to the original murders, and there's nothing left linking her to them anymore. It's just a ghost face mask.
However, I had a conversation this morning that changed my mind on something. It
who
might
were
not
you talking to?
Oh, I was talking to the wonderful Wolfman's Got Nards, Barry Cameron. Hi, Barry.
Hi, Barry.
We talked about where we think it's going to go, and Barry brought up a kind of curveball. Tara and Sam's mum has been mentioned a lot in the films. She obviously is... Billy Loomis got her knocked up, which then spawned Sam. She's mentioned throughout 5 and 6, kind of absent, but could she be the third killer from the original series? But then it doesn't make sense, because why would you be going after your daughter and your daughter's sister?
Because you're a psychopath and it's a Scream franchise.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
We get sometimes you forget when you do this. Like, stop thinking logically when you forget. You have to think like a fucking serial killer, is it?
That would be a way to bring it back, because she would have been at school with Sydney. She would have been at school with Billy Loomis, obviously.
Yeah.
It would be quite cool to see a POV of her kind of watching the younger versions of those characters. You don't need to de-age them, just show them from like the back or something.
Yeah.
And kind of roll with that. And maybe she was involved in the night that Drew Barrymore was killed, because there's always been chat that there was a third killer.
There's always, I mean, it's like, if they've looked, I mean, like, so many people have, there's a couple of really good videos online where it's been broken down scene by scene, saying it's impossible for that to happen. But again, we're thinking logically. Because obviously there's room for theatrical license to kind of get shots done and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's been brought up multiple times about a third killer.
And I suppose Roman in 3 was trying to say it was all him. And I think that was leftovers from the kind of cult thing.
I think there was also ego in that.
Yeah.
Because Roman was a bit egotistical.
Yeah.
So I think that was him going, it's all me.
Like
that kind of thing, just taking the blame for everything.
What I would want, though, is I would want it to be Stu all along. And my way into that is Billy Loomis's dad. So Billy Loomis's dad looks like he could have been a lawyer or something, right? Or...
Yes, this is what you said. Sorry, I got excited there.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't remember what you'd said. And I was like, yeah, sorry.
He could pull some strings, switch the bodies around, and get Stu off grid. I reckon that would be a good way in to tie it back to 1, and also tie it back to how we get Stu out of it. Yeah. Because there's all these rumours of, is he dead, is he not dead? And there's that uncertainty. So there must be something leading to cause is he dead or is he not dead? Because there would be a body in the morgue, right?
Yeah. Yeah, there would have to be.
Yeah.
My next question about this, since we're very much in Halloween mode, I think every episode for the next couple of weeks is probably going to be a little bit horror orientated.
Yep.
When do you kill Scream?
8.
You feel 8's a good number?
Yeah.
Because I don't feel like it's done. I think it's found its fresh breath. It's found its feet. It's ready to go again. We're now back into. You've got a younger generation of viewers not looking at them. You've got a young generation of young people just discovering Ghostface.
I just think have 7 tie a lot of stuff off with the core 4. They've had their trilogy, and 8 be the penultimate, where it's set on a remote location, and it's Sydney versus Ghostface, and it's basically Mark Kincaid is taking Sydney's husband is taking the kids away because Gail dies in 7, and he's like, no matter what, Ghostface is going to come back to you. You've got to stop him, and stop him for good this time. The killer in 8 is Stu. It's been Stu all along, but Sydney is in this remote location, kind of similar to Hush, where we're talking about Hush, Mike Flanagan's film.
But say, because like I want to talk about that as well.
Okay. That's where I would go.
I've not seen it, right? So I don't want it spoiled, because I'm going to watch it and I'm going to talk about Mike Flanagan as well.
Yes.
And you know why? Because we both watched something. Yeah, but that's epic. That is, I'm getting goosebumps just when you were telling me that, like, of how excited I'm for
and
that.
that's it done, because Sydney kills Stu. Stu was the only one left in that group. All the other ties are taken care of, and Sydney gets a happy ending in The Sun, and it finishes from 1 to 8, and you've got a pretty solid series.
Yeah.
And then they can do whatever the fuck they want with Scream going forward. It doesn't need to be Sydney, but the Sydney Prescott saga's over.
That's a good name to call it, Sydney Prescott saga.
Yeah.
That would be it done. Then you can pick up with like Tara or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and just have her move somewhere else.
Absolutely.
And it's the same, something happens with that. I still like, the one thing I don't think, they seem to keep leaning towards it in the series, and they don't really pick up on it, is Tara, isn't it, the big sister?
Isn't Sam?
Sam's the big sister. So she keeps having visions of her dad.
Yeah.
And this, I know you don't like it, you're not a fan of that. I quite liked it. I think but I like it on the basis if we're going to bloody use it.
Yeah.
They're not using it, and that's why I don't like it in that sense. They're giving you this potential for her being a bit of a psychopath. They're leaning into her being able to defend herself and being like, fuck it, I'm going to stab you before you stab me type character, which is great as well. But I keep thinking is like, she's going to do something bad.
And are they trying to make her Ghostface, or are they trying to make her a badass that she gets to be a final girl and she fights that urge to kill? Or are they turning her, will Tara die in 7 and that will push Sam over the edge so that in 8 she's Ghostface and she just can't give into those because she's been looking after Tara. That's the only thing she's got now. And if Tara dies and those visions and all that, and Billy Loomis just gets in her head and she just snaps.
And then imagine Scream 9 or Scream Saga where you're getting a POV of a killer.
Yeah.
So you just follow Ghostface.
Exactly, which is what they teased in 6, the opening kill. I thought this is a very interesting way to go. We're going to know who the killer is and nobody else
no one
is.
else does.
And that's a very unique perspective.
That's what I thought when we were getting that at the start. And it was, I forgot her name, she's the opening kill.
Samara Weaving.
Another
goddess.
Brilliant actress. She's amazing in everything she does.
Yeah.
I know she'll probably never watch this, but you are one of the best actors out there. You're underused. Ready or Not was an incredible movie.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible movie. And she's a final girl as well, so she deserves her status.
Absolutely. You ever seen the film that she did called The Babysitter?
I haven't actually, no.
It's really good. A Netflix film.
Right. I have seen it. I didn't watch it though.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I always question Netflix movies when they come on.
Well, they did a second one. The second one wasn't as good, but the first one was genuinely quite fun.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I probably will, because I think Samara Weaving, and she was in that quirky Nicole Kidman drama as well.
9 Perfect Strangers.
That's it. It was great, really good. It wasn't where I thought it was going to go. I thought it was going to be a wee bit better, the kind of idea. I won't spoil it. But she was the standout in it as well.
Absolutely,
This dumb blonde, but her character just has some journey in that, and she showed it so well. Samara Weaving.
Yeah. Marry me.
He's a tiger. He's a tiger. But yeah, it's a Scream. Yeah, so there's got a lot going on in the Scream franchise in general. There's just a lot there. It's one of those ones that doesn't have any particular ways of spinning it off either. So you're locked to one story, because it did the TV series as well.
Yeah,
which was good in its own right. I think it was decent in its own right. Probably good's a probably strong term.
I enjoyed the first season, I think.
Oh, they really fucking shat the bed in the second season.
Yeah.
Oh wait, sorry. Was it the third one where they really shot the bed? Because I thought the
Yeah.
1 and 2 were good.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah, 1 and 2 were actually good because it still followed the same kids.
I actually feel we should revisit it and rewatch it and
I
see.
will, because I genuinely enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
I think the lead girl, I can't remember her name, and that was excellent. A great final girl.
She was, yeah.
Slightly terrified, but kind of kicked that. And I'm sorry, actually, I just remembered it's got some of the best kills I've ever seen in horror, and I'm a horror fan. I think it's like, I'll tell you without giving away who it is, but somebody strapped to a tree.
Yes. Oh, man.
Oh, that was no.
That was so good.
Oh, I have never. You occasionally get those horror moments when you go, oh, like,
Yeah.
That was me.
I thought, like, that wasn't canon, was it? It wasn't anything to do with the world of the films, was it?
No, I think they basically said they tied it into somebody who picked up the idea from Woodsboro of what happened. I think they're basically saying it's nothing to do with Woodsboro, although they did bring it up, but Woodsboro's in that universe. And this guy was just doing what he'd seen from Woodsboro. I believe, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure Wolfman's Got Nards will correct me on that one.
Yeah, get in the comments, Barry.
Attack me, Barry, go for it. I'm probably wrong. I'm confidently right.
But that's a way they can go. I think not linking it to Scream, but still having it Scream. And the sense there's a ghost face killer. It was different. That's what I liked about it. I was like, right, they're not trying to rip off Sidney Prescott and all that. They were just having a whodunit, and it was really good. The first season that I can remember. I don't want to like say the second season's good unless I watch it back and I'm like,
No, I think this, because that's what I was trying to remember. It's when like some rapper ends up in the third one. I think it's the third season, and that season is god awful. And was Mary J. Blige not in the same season?
I don't remember that.
Yeah, that's okay. Maybe you shouldn't watch it again, because I can. And it is awful. Like, oh, it's so bad, man.
Just having like rap stars from the past, like Jarrell showing up and like.
I don't think we're far off. I really don't think we're far off.
And just while we're on Scream quickly, Christopher Landon directing it. We spoke about this yesterday.
We did. With a certain person.
That certain person, yes. Wink, wink to the camera. I'm not for it, and you are for it because you're a fan of Happy Death Day and Freaky.
Yeah.
I like Happy Death Day, and I did like Freaky. I just didn't love it. And I'm just worried that the direction he might take it might go a bit too funny.
Yeah, I think hopefully with the produce, because I think what he does shot for horror and Happy Death Day was really creepy. I think the way he did it, and even Vince Vaughn when he was portraying bursting into a schoolgirl's dance and stuff like that, it was hilarious. But the minutes when he had to be that creepy guy, the shots and stuff were great.
Yeah,
and I think if they lock that down and then strip away the comedy and maybe put sprinkles of it in, because the humour from the girl in Happy Death Day was brilliant. So witty, like whoever wrote that stuff was very, very good with it. So I think if they can get that wit in Scream, but take away the kind of, there was a lot of fat, I would say is the best way to put it, around some of the bits in it. Yeah, if you can trim all that out and just have that sheer wit off of maybe one or two characters. Yeah, but the shots and the horror, I think you've got something.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the girl from Happy Death Day is a modern day absolute killer final girl, along with Samara Weaving and Ready or Not. I think the two of them are probably the best two final girls of the modern era that we've seen.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't remember. I'm terrible.
Mia Goth as well. And
I was going to say You're Next. That was my next one.
Oh yes,
she was great.
I absolutely loved that film.
I can't remember her name either. Oh,
yeah, it's just Aussie actress.
Yeah.
Why are all the Aussie actresses so fucking badass? I love it.
Yeah, it's true. It's
smoking hot and badass.
Yeah, Your Next was a great movie. I really enjoyed that. That was a creepy badass
I left that
movie.
out my list.
I think it's in the bag.
Oh, good.
Speaking of which, I've got the bag with me.
Oh.
So another one terror horror franchise to another. I forgot the name of it. In my head, I've got the picture.
Okay, Ryan.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. And do you know what? This is this completely sober podcast.
Yeah.
Like I'm drinking water.
We're both on water.
I know, this is awful. I don't know what's happening to me. Who even am I sitting drinking water? So Final Destination is the one I want to talk about. So Final Destination's a new Final Destination coming. I'm rather excited.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that in general before I tell you any information? Because you've never read about it.
I've not read about the new one, no.
No.
But I do have some recollection of Ali Larter.
Yes.
She was in, and then she's now out.
She was Clear. She plays Clear, isn't it?
Yeah. She's not coming back, though.
Not that I've seen.
Right. And is it a completely new adventure of the Final Destination, or is it going back to...
Well, this is what I'm asking you first. How do you feel about a new Final Destination movie before I tell you more about it?
I think they're really fun.
Yeah.
Like, they're really shit in a way, but they're really fun also.
Yeah.
Like, the first one was great because it was unique. And then they just kind of copied that kind of format. But I thought they were fun and silly. And some cool deaths.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Some guy got his head taken off by an elevator, which is something we've all feared when we get in one.
Yeah. I purposely do not stand in that cross between an elevator anymore. You know, I used to like stand there and you stand like in the like right as the door would shut. I'm like that. Nope. Maybe put a toe out just to keep the door open for someone now, just in case.
And see, every time I'm on the motorway and there's like a truck carrying big, huge trees, I'm always like, can we swerve past the trees?
Yeah, because obviously we're in Scotland, so we do see that more than you would think. You do see them driving by the motorway quite a lot. Anytime I'm like, no thanks, get the phone out, send a picture. If I don't text you in the next 10 minutes, you know what's happened. But yeah, so Final Destination's coming back. It's been made again. It's a continuation. There is some of the old cast are going to be in it. They've not announced everybody yet. This is the weird thing. So I got a funny feeling a couple of the older characters are coming. But there's one guy, and that's Bloodsworth,
Okay.
played by Todd Candyman.
Oh, yes.
I'm terrible tonight.
Oh, no. We need to get this guy's name.
It's Todd.
He's a Candyman.
He's Candyman. That's what he's like super famous for. But so he turned up in multiple of the Final Destination films, multiple of them.
Yep.
And he's back. But one thing they have said when they were remaking it, they didn't want to make just another Final Destination movie. They were wanting to explore the mythology of it. So they're wanting to delve a bit deeper into what it is. So rather than just say, it's just death coming for them, this is what they said they're going to explore it a bit. That's my question to you now is, do we need to explore it, or was it just perfect the way that it was because it was just death?
Yeah, I think that's the best thing about horror when you don't know an awful lot. It's what made Michael Myers so scary. There just wasn't a huge amount of backstory about him. That's what I loved about the Halloween franchise until they started exploring the backstory. But I don't think you need to explain these kind of things. It's just not. It takes the fear out of it. See, when you know, like, what is the possible outcome for that? You know,
Yeah.
they're going to be like angels and devils and all that, and I'm just like, you don't need that in a Final Destination movie.
Well, this is what I think as well, and I'm going to completely agree with you on that one because I don't think you need any explanation. I just enjoy the fact of it's death.
Yeah.
So they did say definitely going to talk about in the movie was, I think they said the rules will be a bit clearer.
Oh.
Whereas I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because obviously we know some people got away.
Yeah.
You know, like, and you just mentioned her, Ali Larkin. She got away.
I think she died in the second one.
Did she?
And I can't remember the guy who was in the first one, who's also in the Chucky series.
Yes, he is.
Who plays multiple characters in every season. It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
But I don't know if his character died or they killed him off screen. So he could come back technically.
I think he's off screen.
I think he is as well.
Yeah.
I think it was that he couldn't do the sequel or didn't want to.
Yeah, I think he wanted to do it. And I think Ali Larkin was off screen as well. I'm sure because she was in the mental asylum at one point.
That's true, yeah. And she's not been doing anything since Heroes, really. And Heroes ended 10 years ago.
Yes, we could get you some work. Come on and do a wee bit of Final Destination and get you sorted.
I think she was supposed to be going for Love of Horror, but she's now pulled out. So we could have asked her.
He could have been there and said, what are you doing? What are you up to? Do you want a bit in a movie? It's not even my movie. And I'm like, do a part in a film we'll get you?
What I did watch today, about 20 minutes before you arrived, the Aquaman trailer.
The full one or a teaser?
The full one. Did you see it?
I did not.
No? Okay then.
Right. So I watched the teaser, and what I got from the teaser, I'm going to tell you what I got from the teaser. I thought it looked okay.
You got teased.
Yeah, you got teased, but it was actually a trailer of a trailer. I'm never a big fan of it, and even I think James Wan.
I think so. Yes.
It's James Wan. Even James Wan came out and said that he's not really a fan of a trailer, which I think was why it's such a short period, obviously, in between releasing it. But I think that only from a teaser, looked quite good.
I got to say, the trailer did make it look a bit better than what I expected.
Yeah.
But it could just be a really good trailer.
That's the point. So I know for a fact that it's tested multiple times and to be terrible. But then again, I think there's been multiple movies in the Marvel universe that have been tested and they were terrible. It did well.
That's true.
Because the Marvels was tested again. Apparently, it's the lowest test result we've ever had.
Yeah, that's a given.
I'm probably going to die on this hill and actually die Final Destination style on this hill because I think the Marvels looks quite good.
Right.
I'm taking away the seriousness. You know, when I have a wee fanboy rant and I say I'd like to just see that film. I'm not there for lore. I'm not there to have build up and mysteries and expand the universe. I want to see Captain Marvel on a wee fun adventure.
Yeah. I've finally caught up with all of Phase 4 now,
Yeah.
which I just had a marathon of just watching all of the movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
So I'm finally caught up on everything that's going. The only thing I've not seen is What If, but I don't think that's canon to anything.
Nah, not really. There's a couple of wee things in it that are a wee bit offshoots of stuff, but
yeah, I just didn't have time to squeeze that in. But I'm finally caught up, and I think I've only got Black Adam and Shazam: Fury of the Gods
DC,
to watch to catch up. But I think they're getting thrown away anyway.
Yeah, they're canned.
Aye, so I'm not going to bother.
Yeah. What did you think of the Marvels and Captain Marvel in general?
I don't know if it's because it's Brie Larson that's playing her. I just think it's a very bland superhero, which is similar to what a lot of people think about Superman in a way. He's got that much power, and he's like the perfect superhero because he's straight laced and he believes in the right thing and all that, and he's got a good moral compass.
But then when they actually turned that and made him more interesting, Man of Steel, everyone went batshit crazy and said it was an awful film.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like this is where you can't win with fanboys. I completely say you cannot win with them.
Yeah.
It's like people say, like you said, Superman can be quite boring. You give him a moral thing that he's going to have to do that actually breaks his heart, which he does. Yep. They're like, oh, he doesn't do that. And you're like, right, but what do you want the movie makers to do? Yeah. Yeah, make him interesting or you don't.
Yeah, the Captain Marvel movie for me, it just wasn't like. It wasn't good in the sense that it just felt like it was put in there because he needed to use her at some point. I don't think it was very well thought out. Yeah. And I didn't enjoy it as much. And that's not because of Brie Larson.
This is the opposite opinion.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy it amazingly. I didn't think it was like a blow me away film. It was a fun film. I thought it was interesting. I enjoyed the story. But it was Brie Larson that I hated. Yeah. I just felt as if she was like, it's like, old pre-John Wick Keanu Reeves movies where it was just Keanu Reeves acting? Yeah. That's Brie Larson to me.
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's nothing captivating about her at all. So that's when I'm okay when she just stands stoically and just be a plank of wood in the corner. It's great. Because she's just got no characteristics in her face. Yeah. It's just, it's terrible. Like, I don't mean this in a bad way against Brie Larson. I just personally don't think she's a great actress. So I think she's amazing.
I also think that they're trying to make her funny, but she's not got any charisma whatsoever. Yeah. So, like at the end of Miss Marvel, when she goes into the room and is and sees all the kind of posters on the wall. Spoiler alert if you've not took the time to watch Miss Marvel, which I do not blame you.
That's another thought. I don't know, it could change this, but what did you think of Miss Marvel?
I really enjoyed the last episode.
Yeah, right.
I just didn't like all the other stuff. I just thought it was a bit kind of like we're waiting to get to the last episode.
Yeah, so I think this is where a lot of people see issues with the universe as it is. When you've got something like Miss Marvel, it's really a show for the younger generation. Whereas you can watch it and learn a little bit about it. It doesn't affect you too much. You learn a wee bit about her powers. But I think it was a kid's show. Yeah. It really was a kid's show. But I think it was done well. I think it was a wee bit messy in some parts with the villains and stuff like that. It just, there wasn't a good arc, but I think it was done relatively well.
Yeah, no, I would agree. It had a lot going for it. Just didn't execute it in the right way. I think it took too long to get going.
Yeah.
And then when you get that last episode, you're like, where has this been?
Yeah.
The whole time? It would
Like-
have been like, just give us that.
Yeah.
You know? I thought it was quite fun. And I
Yeah.
sat there enjoying myself and I was like, I don't have any complaints about this.
And how did you feel about She-Hulk?
Never watched it. So I haven't fully caught up on phase 4, but I was advised by the good man to my left here that it's not worth it, so I'm not going to bother.
And you're coming from someone who justifiably, like I've said, is like, I hate fanboy rants. I hate going, I didn't like it because it's not like the first Avengers movie or Iron Man. Can't be bothered with that shit.
Yeah.
Every movie's different. It's for different types of people and all that. I agree with that. Not every single movie is going to be massively appealing to you. So just watch it and just enjoy it. Just enjoy your movie. You know what I mean? If it's 99% of the movies aren't badly made movies.
Yeah.
I think is that the biggest problem, like I've said before in my wee rants, is that it's just not what you got from Avengers. It's not what you got from that final battle of Endgame and stuff like that. It's not the same film. But when I say something's pretty shit and I say something's terrible, She-Hulk was fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. It didn't know what it was. It didn't know what it was doing. They just didn't get the concept of breaking the fourth wall very well. They just absolutely shat on fucking Daredevil.
Yeah.
They made him an absolute joke. And it's possibly one of the worst TV shows that I've ever watched.
Please don't ruin Daredevil Born Again.
I know.
Please, I beg of you. We had the Netflix series, which was awesome. The first season was so good that I'm just worried that Marvel are just going to kind of continue on from what they did to him in She-Hulk, because I've seen what they've done. It's not great.
It just wasn't a good show in general, and that's when I say like you've got like Captain Marvel. A lot of people don't like it for certain reasons. They don't like it for different. It's still a well-made movie. And you have to. That's the way I see it. I still think it's a well put together movie. It's got a lot in it, and it clinks and it clanks as it's coming together from different disjointed bits. But it's not, for me, a bad movie. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it for usually specific reasons. But when people come along and go, "Oh, it was just a pish film altogether. It was shite," you're like, "Was it really? You didn't like it?"
Yeah.
Right. Well, was it really a terrible movie? No, it's probably not. Everybody likes to be like fucking us. Like, we've literally got a channel to rant. You know what I mean? It's like, am I trying to close YouTube? Is that what I'm doing? Try to close podcast. But everyone kind of rants. It's not a terrible movie. But like I said, like, She-Hulk is fucking god awful, mate.
Yeah.
It's the most clunky dialogue. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't look right. The CGI on She-Hulk is gash. I mean, awful.
What I would say while we're on phase 4, my favourite phase 4 movie, Shang Chi.
Yeah.
Which totally took me by surprise. And it's actually up there in my top 5.
And top 5?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. If we exclude Infinity War and Endgame. Because they're big Avengers movies. But if we talk about standalone, like your Iron Man, your Guardians of the Galaxy, Shang-Chi's up there, man.
Yeah,
I think it's such a good, fun movie, and it just got shat on because it's not white, superhero.
I agree, yeah, and I loved it. I came out of the cinema going, that was amazing, and again sitting reading going, yeah, it was shit. Well, it just wasn't as good as Iron Man. I'm not getting like yawn.
Yeah,
fucking yawn. Like, again, just to go and enjoy it. I enjoyed the shit out of it. Aquafina was funny as hell.
So good.
She was just perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfectly cast. And the jokes in it were absolutely on point.
Yeah.
Like every wee joke, every quirk.
Yeah.
Like I said, you told me the karaoke bits.
Oh, man. That killed me. That made me laugh, like, so hard. See, and then especially at the end when it's with Wong, I was like, this couldn't be any better.
I know. It was just a very, very well written movie and a very, very wholesome cast and characters.
Yeah.
And Shang-Chi was just perfectly cast as well.
Absolutely.
I'm desperate to see him again, obviously we're not going to get him. Although there is a tie-in for the after credit scene, which is obviously going to play a massive, massive part of Kang, because those rings are calling out to somebody. That's what we know at the end when they were standing around. They said those rings are calling somebody.
That's right.
And it's Kang. It's got to be Kang. I think it's his tech. I think it's his tech.
But then in the Eternals, you had, was it Galactus that was the guy in the Eternal?
In the movie?
Yeah, or was it another type?
What you mean, the one that monsters? The
You
big
know the
monsters?
big thing with the big hand and
No,
you know
that
the
was
big face?
Yeah, that was.
Was that just a Sentinel?
It was just as one of them. Yeah.
Right.
Not
Okay.
Sentinel. Was there a name for it? Now?
Yeah, I don't
I'm
know.
being dumb. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am being dumb this episode. Like so dumb.
But I thought that was what they were going for. They were going for like that villain, Galactus, and then they just shifted to Kang, who I actually really like as a villain.
So yeah, I don't get. I get, right. Obviously, this is not unproven what he's done. So
Yeah.
we're talking about like Kevin Spacey, like for questionable. Like what do you do with a situation where he's clear? Jonathan Majors is still going into court. Nothing's happened. We don't know. So I'm not going to really say anything about him because you don't really know.
Yeah.
Don't really know what's happening with him.
I get the feeling Marvel are going to hire his lawyers and just be like, we need this man because we built him up.
Here's $5 billion. Get him out of this.
Everybody retracts their statements.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Who knows? But yeah, as a villain himself, I like him as well. I
Yeah.
think it's a very interesting choice. I liked the end of Loki.
Aye. And see how people are being little bitches about like, oh, the ants killed him. They killed a variant of him. Like,
Yeah, it's not-
that's not.
That's the point of
Yeah.
Kang. Kang comes back.
He's got so many variants, as you saw in the stadium, full of variants.
Yeah.
But like, he's so powerful, and I think they could definitely go with that and have him be a Thanos type. But when people were getting pissy about like the ants killing him at the end of Ant-Man, that's just one little tiny variant of him.
And that's the point of Kang. It doesn't matter how many times you kill a variant, there's another one.
Yeah,
Because they all converge every single time they get attacked.
and it looks like they're still sticking with him in Loki.
Yeah, because it's Victor Timely is definitely he popped up in the trailer, and the trailer looks badass as well. I really enjoyed that trailer. I can't wait for that.
Yep.
That's probably going to be on when this episode's out.
Interest, that's so like a week away.
Yes, I believe the date is October,
Oh,
and I think it's the start of October. I think it's October 6th or 5th.
I'm going to binge the shit out of that.
Yeah, well, you're only getting 2 episodes a week. 2 episodes in the first
no,
one.
why did they do this to us?
Yeah, you're opening 2, and then I think there's 7 more.
Okay, because I just am so excited for that because I think the first one was great.
Yeah.
But the second one, I'm so interested to see what.
Well,
they do
this
with
is.
it.
I am fucking praying that this is Loki's going to be the natural corrector, the catalyst of pulling back into the good, decent path of Marvel. I think this show can really correct a lot of things, and especially, hopefully, put everyone in a good mindset for Kang coming up as a villain. Because I've read the comics, I've seen Kang in the comics, and I've seen the shit that he does in the comics. He is a badass.
Yeah.
And I think when you read the comics now, a lot of the older stuff, it's not as badass, but you know what's the possibilities of what you can make from him.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed that I never watched like Phase 4 at the time, so that when we were sat here weeks ago, I didn't really know what to say because I didn't see it. But like, I'm so annoyed at that because I've actually enjoyed quite a lot of it, and I'm trying to be positive about films now. I'm trying to be like, what did I like about it instead of what I didn't like.
I agree with that. I hate people don't understand. Like, I mean, Christ, my favorite movie of the year last year or the year before was Army of the Dead. I told you that the other day, right? Everyone hates that. Everyone says it's an absolute terrible movie. It's a Zack Snyder movie. It just happens to be a Zack Snyder movie, who I'm a massive fan of anyway. But I thought Army of the Dead was amazing, and I know loads of people say that it's absolutely terrible. But the problem is, if you come away and you say, right, maybe you didn't like it, you have to remember films are subjective. Films are completely different things that people like and don't like. If you come out and just shout absolute bollocks about saying how bad it is, it was terrible, this is absolute shit, I just didn't like it, someone loves it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to talk shit about films and don't have to talk shit. All you have to do is say, wasn't for me, and I'll tell you why it wasn't for me.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because people put their heart and soul into the industry and put their heart and soul into young upcoming movies and come out and just badmouth everything so bad. And that's not what I'm about. Like, I know I understand some people are. That's up to you. But I'm more of a supporter of the industry, and I want Marvel movies. I want DC movies. So the more that you badmouth something, you affect 2 or 3 people who don't go and buy a ticket.
Yeah.
And that's 2 or 3 people in the sales. And in fact, it's like Black Adam. Everyone I know who went to see Black Adam said it was brilliant.
Right.
Like, absolutely brilliant.
Okay.
Even non-comic Nathan, who was here in a previous episode, said it was great, and he's a non-comic book guy. He said it was really good.
Wow. Because I used to get into watching a YouTuber that we talk about quite a lot who's very negative about everything.
Yeah.
And you know, I used to watch his videos and think, yeah, I kind of agree with that, but now I'm kind of rebelling against that. I'm starting to be like,
don't watch his stuff because I'm bored of him now.
Yeah,
and I don't mean that in a negative way. I think
No.
I'm just. There's sometimes you want to hear people kind of moan about stuff, and sometimes it just gets a bit degrading, and that's when I'm like, you're just being a bit of an arsehole now.
Yeah, and see if you're having to watch someone else make their opinions and then agree with those opinions, you've not got your own opinions.
Yeah.
You're just being like, yeah, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, this is why I will never shy away from the fact that I like some movies that other people say are bad.
Yeah.
It's like I don't, whereas I'll say I don't love it, like Captain Marvel again. I didn't love it. I enjoyed the shit of it. I enjoyed it. I felt like it was fun. I wouldn't go back and watch it again, whereas I would go back and watch Iron Man 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Is there certain movies I'll go back and watch again? Captain Marvel, I probably wouldn't go back. I might go back once at some point just to kind of refresh the story when some Marvel kind of things is kicking off and Avengers and all that. But
Yeah.
it's you don't need to kind of be so negative about some stuff.
The best part about Captain Marvel, while I'm being positive, is the Elastica tune when she just makes a face and it's just like it works so well.
That's one of the things that I felt they did amazingly in that film.
Yeah.
Was that 90s vibe.
Yep.
They just got this cool 90s vibe. Like, they've done it so well.
And the Sam Jackson looked like Sam Jackson from the 90s.
That was really, really good.
When we argue about like de-aging looks bad,
No, we nailed that.
absolutely.
Absolutely nailed that. And like I say, I'll say the one pissy thing that I do agree with 90% of the little whiny people is Nick Fury's eye.
Yeah, oh God, yeah.
That's the one thing. That was weak. That was really weak.
Yeah.
There was no need for that. That was absolutely. Whereas I absolutely adore the character that did it, the Flirkin. Is it Flirkin?
Is it the cat? Or
The cat.
that's like a being, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Flirkin. It's called Goose. Obviously from Top Gun.
Top Gun, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's a Flirkin. Or am I saying something completely wrong? Because I think I know what a Flirkin is. Don't Google that. I think I know
Chris's porn history.
Oh, Jesus. Don't Google what a Flirkin
Stop
is.
jerking your gherkin for flirkin.
Yeah, don't look at what a Flirkin is. It's not horrific. It just shows that I've got really questionable things that I know in my head. Let's just say Goose from Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Goose from Captain Marvel is, I loved that character. I thought it was hilarious. I love the fact it's a cat, and I love the fact it's an alien that can swallow things like that.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I thought it was just funny, and it was offbeat but real enough, and I think that was a really funny thing. But he shouldn't have been the guy that took Nick Fury's eye. No. Never.
No, I'm kind of over Nick Fury now.
I think Nick Fury's on the way out. I think he's going to be he'll be a big massive kill. I think.
Yeah, I think they need to. After watching Secret Invasion, I'm just like, I'm fed up.
Secret Invasion, I didn't absolutely love. Again, I really enjoyed it. I didn't love it because I could see where it was a bit of a mess, and I think the mess was in the editing, and that's where I think it's like the editing was all over the place.
Yeah.
Because I could see the drama and see the build up, and there was some parts of it was I'm okay. I could see some parts were like really, really strongly put together, like a really Jason Bourne vibes and all that. But the way that it was edited was so bad that it just didn't work with the next scene, or the build up wasn't there, or the character development just didn't seem right. But where I could see that it was in it,
Yeah.
they just never connected.
Emilia Clark is a terrible actress.
Oh, right. So I discussed this with a couple of people. I'm not sure I brought it up with you. I discussed this with other people. She is like a franchise killer.
Yep.
So she came into Terminator.
Oh, God, yeah.
That didn't come back. See what I did there?
Hey!
Kept that one for ages, guys. It's been 25 years. And then she did Solo.
Yes.
She fucked that. Right? She absolutely fucked that. And not her. It's not her. Not her. No. She just seems to be she's always in the ones that absolutely just wrecks.
In Game of Thrones, she didn't have to do much. Be like a stone-faced queen.
Yeah.
Easy to play.
Yeah.
Anything else she can't do.
She's one thing about her, I'm certainly not saying she's a bad actress. I'm not saying she's a bad actress. I'm saying that she doesn't work in some parts. I think for me, I think's happening is people are going, right, who have we got for this role? And we've got Kate blah 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 and Sally blah blah blah. But Emilia Clark's up for it. Give it to Emilia Clark.
Yeah.
I think that's what's happening. It's like maybe she's not perfect for the role, but we're just flinging it at her.
People know
because-
her. People know her.
Yeah, she's Game of Thrones. She's Game of Thrones. Like, people. We'll get all the Game of Thrones viewers. Whereas I don't think she was right for this role.
No, she wasn't, and she wasn't the right for the other roles that you mentioned either.
I think the one in Solo, I think she was not far off. I just think Solo wasn't a great movie either. It was just okay. It should have been ridiculously good.
Yeah, I purposely didn't see it because I'm such a Harrison Ford fanatic, and I don't want to see a Han Solo movie without him. And I know that's typical of like the kind of fan base being like, it's not Harrison Ford, god damn it. But I don't want to go and see a Indiana Jones movie with no Harrison Ford. I don't want to go and see a Star Wars movie with no Harrison Ford.
I know.
He's the guy for me. And I just don't want him replaced. He's irreplaceable.
I think he is irreplaceable, but I get when they were going with this one, I did quite thought it'd be interesting to see a younger version of him going back to the kind of story. And the guy did him justice, I will say that. I thought the guy played him very, very well. He picked up his quirks, he picked up very Harrison's demeanour.
Apparently that was an acting coach because
They gave him
they gave him an acting coach because he wasn't good at improv.
Right.
So he wanted to come in and read like as an actor.
Yeah.
Whereas they were like, no, you need to
need
play
to be
Harrison Ford.
Yeah. So that's the one thing I will say. He was very good.
Aye.
I just don't think the story with him and the lines were great, but he was very good at being Harrison Ford.
I heard Donald Glover stole the show.
Oh, he was the best thing in it.
Yeah.
Best thing in it. So the other thing I was kind of wanting to talk about again, because it's possibly one of my favourite franchises.
Okay, hit me with it.
So
Yes.
right now you've probably seen it. We've not seen it. It comes out on September 29th. So by the time this lands, it's either right about that date or just round about there. So you've a chance you might have seen it. So if you have seen it, don't say it in the comments, please, because I've probably not. But Saw's back. Right?
Yes.
Saw's back with a vengeance. And the more I'm seeing clips of it and the more that I'm seeing, the more excited I am.
Yep.
Because the last couple were just a bit damp.
Yeah, what the fuck was Spiral?
Do you know what I get? So this is the thing: is like, it certainly was not a good movie. I'm not going to back this movie up.
No.
But what I will say was the idea. I think what they were doing was on the right track of
Yeah.
making. I felt like they were doing something right.
Just poorly executed.
Yeah. I just felt like they needed. I think it was a weak director. Sorry, whoever you are. You're not going to watch this. Like you're going to watch a Scottish podcast. Please watch a Scottish podcast. But I just think that they're just a bad director.
Yeah.
And I got a funny feeling it was the main star. The more I think about
Chris
it.
Rock?
Yeah,
Chris Rock did it?
I think so.
Did he?
I got a funny feeling it was him. Well,
Aye, whoever it is. They were
Mr.
terrible.
Rock,
You deserved that slap.
you're a great actor. Maybe not so much the direction. Maybe not so much. It's just alright at that. But
Maybe Will Smith time travelled, saw Spiral, and was like, I'm gonna bitch slap this guy.
bitch slap him before he makes it. It's like someone needs to do a wee clip of him just going up. This is for Saw. This is from the Saw fans.
That's so good. I almost choked in my laugh.
Take my horror franchise out of your mouth.
Oh, it's so good. I love it. We're still talking about that as well.
I know it's
You're
legendary.
never going to forget. That's pop culture right there.
That is exactly what it is. It's pop culture. It's forever going to be pop culture. That slap was the fucking. I keep wanting to say it's the best, but it's actually assault. And we can't laugh at it.
Yeah.
It's genuinely assault.
Will Smith's kind of cancelled.
I
He's
think
not really done much.
He's suffered.
Yeah.
He's definitely suffered. And then, as much as I kind of want to feel sorry for him because I've loved him from everything that he's done, you've committed assault, mate. At the end of the day, no matter which way you look at it, it was assault.
And does he not let other men pump his wife?
I don't know.
Or do they both get to play about?
I think they're in an open relationship, which is
Right.
fine. So I'm not going to judge people on
No,
that.
no,
Do
no.
what you like. You know what I mean? Not wherever you want to dip your fang. Or get your fang dipped. Do what you like. Whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But I won't say anything about Will Smith apart from you're a bad man.
Yeah.
Bad man. Bad man.
But Saw,
So
we're going back to a different part of the timeline, which
Yeah.
is how many more movies could we get out of that, really?
That's what we're talking, because we were talking to a certain person the other day, and we were discussing like what they kind of do, because I love the idea of what they've done. So rather than just having this timeline continuity, we've taken a wee sidestep.
Yeah.
I know it's in somewhere in that timeline, but you're right. How many can we get away with this? Because my money's on this. I think it's going to be brilliant.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I don't think that guy would have came back.
No.
The guy that plays John Kramer.
Tobin Bell.
Tobin Bell, that's it. I don't think he would have come back if he didn't think the script was good.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, it died, he's probably checked out and been like, right, I'm over the Saw thing now. So it's got to have been good to bring him back.
Yeah. It's just only because the problem is that Jigsaw is him. But it was the fact that he got other people to do it for him. I think the only way you can do another spin-off is have the girl who you've seen who was also back. Maybe just a wee spin-off of her now if this is successful.
Yeah.
Maybe she gets her own wee trilogy, a wee Saw trilogy.
That's true. I just think that's a good way to retcon the last couple.
I think that the biggest mistake I think is when he killed her. And like Saw 65, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah, I think it was like Saw 5.
Because it was the doctor who just got the thing on her neck on the table and she swipes at her.
Yeah.
And slits her throat.
And then
Or
they
was
had,
it
they
Tobin?
had the cop. Was it not the cop that killed her?
Yeah, aye.
Because he was in on it as well.
Yeah,
Which I thought was weird, but still quite good.
Yeah, it was good. I liked the way that it went. It was still felt really natural and really organic. This has been in when he jumped to that bloody one in the farmhouse and all that. I was mind-meltingly bad. Like really just a bad. This is one thing about horror movies is like horror movies. You can justify a lot of stuff in a horror movie by giving us like good gore, good kills, all that kind of stuff, and you can kind of bypass the script a wee bit sometimes.
Yeah.
But when you don't get any of it and it's just weird, it just doesn't. A horror movie can really be very bad. It can be terrible.
What I like about it is that it's showing the power of the character of Jigsaw, that without him, it's not good.
Yeah.
So that's like taking Michael Myers out of Halloween and having a Halloween movie, and you're like,
Yeah.
So he's now earned that status of, you know, you've got your rogues gallery of, you know, Michael Myers, Jason, Freddy Krueger, Chucky, Leatherface. You've got all these icons, and Saw is in one of those now, which I think is just great.
No, I think it's great. As it says, I loved the series. I loved it. And again, it's the concept and the idea. No one had done that sort of movie before.
Yeah.
I think the only kind of movies I thought was on par, but just was nowhere near as good, was Escape Room.
Yeah.
It's kind of roughly the same idea. Have to do things to get out and save yourself. But
Was that the one with the people with the weird faces as well? They had like piercings all over their face and all that, and they had like weird faces.
No. Escape Room was Deborah Ann Wolf from Daredevil.
I have seen that, but there was another one that's similar to Escape Room, and it's like it's ran by people that have got like weird faces.
Were you drunk when you watched it?
Possibly, but I'm sure it was Escape Room. They've got like tattooed over their faces, and they've got like kind of piercings everywhere. Their faces look strange.
Escape Room definitely was run by the elite. It was the rich people who did it. Who did it all over the world in different places.
Yeah, it was something that was similar to Saw and Escape Room, but I don't think was either.
Yeah, right, okay.
But maybe someone can let me know in the comments, or I'll do some digging, because it is definitely a film. I've
definitely not seen it.
Can't remember
that.
what it's called.
But yeah, I think like it just feels right again. This Saw movie, it feels right. It just something about it. It's got the same vibe in the posters. The clips got the same vibe. It just feels like it's just a perfect throwback to that kind of Saw goodness.
Yeah, they always give you a good ending, don't they? The Saw movies,
Yeah.
like you're like, how the fuck did they pull that off? Like the best one was when the cop got in the chamber, and it like took him to safety, and it was the other guy thought, I better not get in that because that's going to kill me. It was so good.
Yeah, because if he got in it, he would have been fine. That was it. When he didn't, he got crushed, didn't he?
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, but it was the genius of the Saw writing was the rules.
Yeah.
So if you did what he was asking, give a piece of yourself or do something to get out of a situation. If you did it, you got out.
Yeah.
And that's where it all went wrong, wasn't it? Was when some of them were just letting people die.
Yeah.
And that's when Tobin turned on one of them.
Yeah.
God, I can't remember.
There's so many of them, and they kind of all bleed into one. That's the one problem we saw. Is like once you've seen one, you kind of feel like you've seen them all, but it still satisfies you.
Yeah.
In a way.
I remember the one where. God rest his soul, Chester Bennington.
Oh God,
absolute fucking legend, man.
Yeah. Oh, did he not get like his?
Yeah, he was like a punk guy.
Ripped?
Yeah, he was a punk guy in it.
God.
It was a brilliant one as well. They were like punk kind of junkies living in like a car place or something like that.
That scene was really hard to watch.
Yeah, I know, even harder now. You know what I mean? It was like. It's like you like to look back on these things and remember things well, but Chester was a ledge.
I know,
absolute ledge.
Just get sad.
We've got absolutely tons of stuff coming up, especially to do with horror. You're now in the midst of a Halloween. You've probably seen some of the Halloween World Cup draws and questions to see who's going through.
Yeah.
If not, it's just about to come. It depends on which way this lands.
Yep.
So you might be have seen the first couple where we're picking out different horror movies and seeing who wins in the World Cup, and hopefully might get someone to do a draw at the end and see who the final is and get an announcement. And we'll send a wee Geekified high five or something to whoever's made the film.
Yeah.
If we're still alive.
I know. We've got lots of exciting things coming up.
Yeah.
That we'll keep to ourselves for now.
Yeah. It could have some new extra faces joining us. That's a possibility. We're in discussions right now. We're getting a couple of extra people.
We tease.
Tickling
your gooch. Tickling your gooch.
Yeah, so it could be a couple of some new faces coming in and into the team. Because like today's example, Ryan couldn't make it today, obviously because he's not well, but he will be back. But it would be great. This is the whole point. We'd love to have someone else who can just jump into one of our seats and make it a big dirty three-way that it normally is.
Yeah, and hopefully you haven't seen anything too different from tonight, because we've just did this off the cuff.
Yeah,
basically.
we just talked a lot of shit as usual.
Yeah,
and I've been sober. What?
I know, what?
Normally I'm half cut by the time I get this. This is the general rules of Geekified. We have a couple of beers, so we're going for it. But yeah, that's been absolutely fantastic. So please stick around for all the horror stuff and all the other stuff. It's the content that's going to be coming up shortly. I hope you've had an absolutely fantastic time, Callum.
Yeah, I've had a blast, and I'm just so amazed by this beautiful doll of Tiffany that. And I kind of want to buy it now.
I know. I think I'm like, was this your ploy, Thomas? Was this your ploy? Is this what you do? You knew that we would take this doll away, and you knew that we'd want this. I think this is what you're up to. Is again, if you've not been into Geekaboo, get yourself into Geekaboo. Anyone that's in Glasgow, and check it out online as well. It's outstanding.
Yeah,
I love it.
Really
it's one of my favourite stores, and I'm not just saying that because it's one of the sponsors and they give us these beautiful things to promote. I'm saying that because I was in it every bloody week buying something geeky, something really probably shouldn't have bought.
They're absolute legends as well. Yeah.
So please get yourselves in, and you'll see this badass. She'll be sitting back in the window by the time you see this, so unless someone buys her, she'll be back in the window.
Me.
I know. It's either in the window or it's in Callum's bed. Who knows what's going to happen? And we're in our cocoon, shall we call it?
No, I'm not going to take it that dark, this end.
Oh, yeah. What other end were you going in, mate?
I was about to say, like, this wasn't what I was going to say, but if somebody walked into my bedroom and saw that doll there, they're probably thinking I'm going to fuck it.
Well, to be honest, like the size of it, it's about my height.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to carry it. I'm like, this is actually as big as me. It's pretty lifelike, yeah. So, and let us know what you're thinking of Chucky Season 3. I think it's on. It's been on roughly by now, so that's all good. But yeah, thank you very much, Callum.
Thank you very much.
We can do this all day.